Welcome to the NZ Travel Show, an interactive show where you can ask your NZ travel questions to the experts behind nzpocketguide.com, New Zealand's largest travel guide. The NZ Travel Show will start in exactly 2 minutes. Just the time for you to hit the like button, ring the notification bell, and subscribe if you have not done so yet. NZPocketGuide.com has over 3,000 articles covering all aspects of travelling in New Zealand, from a working holiday gap year to tips for a perfect family holiday. The site also features dozens of pre-made itineraries that you can use to plan your ideal trip in New Zealand. It's all available for free at nzpocketguide.com, so check it out. The NZ Travel Show is hosted by Robin, the Operations Manager of South Pacific Pocket Guide, the company behind nzpocketguide.com. The New Zealand Travel Show is also hosted by Laura, a journalist and editor-in-chief of South Pacific Pocket Guide and all its publications, including nzpocketguide.com. We're exactly 1 minute away from the NZ Travel Show. Get yourself comfortable and start asking your NZ travel questions in the chat. Robin and Laura will go over them when the show starts. In 30 seconds, our experts will be live from New Zealand to give you all the practical New Zealand travel tips you need, from the best transport options to the best accommodations and activities to choose for the perfect New Zealand holiday. Live from New Zealand, this is the NZ Travel Show with your travel experts, Robin and Laura.
Good morning, beautiful people of the internet. We are stoked to be back with you for another NZ Travel Show. It is 8 a.m. on Sunday. It is live from New Zealand. Here we go. That's it. That's the intro.
That's the intro.
Yes, that's the intro.
Thanks for the little cute hearts, whoever's doing the little hearts
I
at
bet
the bottom.
it's Sherry right here. So Sherry is 8 weeks away from her trip. That's pretty exciting.
Ooh, it's getting closer.
Yeah. Oh my God. So Sherry is one of our Patreon subscribers. So we kind of been helping her doing her itinerary and all that. It's heaps of fun. Yeah. Wow, that's 8 weeks. I feel like it's just flying by. Speaking of our Patreon, today on the Patreon exclusive live show, we are going to be looking and checking out all the photos from Kiwi Lauren's trip. So that's going to be really exciting. So Lauren is just came back maybe a couple of weeks ago from a trip to New Zealand, and yeah, she gave us a good 70 photos to look at. Of course, she gave us a lot.
just a little bit
surprised.
extra.
I'm not surprised. So yeah, we'll
Nice.
look at that. That's going to be heaps of fun as well. So yeah, I hope everybody is doing absolutely handsomely today. Laura, how are you doing?
Well, handsomely is a strong word, and I'll go with that. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Awesome. Rick is here saying, good morning, peeps. I hope you're all doing well. We're doing awesome. And
Oh, bless you.
there you go. And what is Michael
And
Stewart saying?
Michael is saying hello. Hello, Michael.
All right, guys. So the way this NZ Travel Show works, you guys can ask us all your questions about traveling in New Zealand, because we kind of are the experts of traveling in New Zealand. And yeah, in between all your questions, we have a bit of theme of the week. So again, go nuts with your question, and in the meantime, we'll talk about our theme.
Let's do it. What's the theme of the week, Robin?
I was about to ask you that. The theme of the week today is the best things to do on the South Island of New Zealand. So if you are planning an epic trip to New Zealand and are looking for things to fill your bucket list of the South Island with, we have 50 awesome things to do on the South Island on nzpocketguide.com, and today we'll run through some of our favorites, telling you what we like about it, etc. Hopefully we'll do about 20. That's kind of like the aim. I have prepared 25, so we can't go above 25, but hopefully we do about 20. So without further ado, let's get started. Clay is here. What?
Our South Island correspondent.
I know,
kicking off.
live from the South Islands, from Dunedin. Clay is here.
Hi,
That's been so
Clay.
long. How are you
time
doing?
no see.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see you, mate. That's really awesome. And Adil is here saying kia ora, Robin, Laura, and all the viewers.
Kia ora, Adil.
How is everybody doing? Clay, how cold are you down the South Island? It is pretty chilly here on the North Island, I have to be honest. It is very, very, very cold. Alright, so while you guys are getting started, we are going to get started with the best thing to do on the South Island of New Zealand. Okay, so let's begin with my absolute favorite things to do on the South Island of New Zealand, and that's a heli hike on a glacier. And more particularly, I actually really like the Tasman Glacier, which is a little less popular than all the other Franz Josef or Fox glaciers. So it's located near Mount Cook.
Yeah, so this is basically on the set of mountains on the other side of where Franz Josef and Fox Glacier are. And also it's on the side of the mountains where it tends to have better weather. So if you do miss out on a heli hike on the west coast, then the east coast where Mount Cook is located is usually a lot more trips usually go ahead. So yeah, it's a really awesome experience. The glaciers are ever changing. That means that your trip is always going to be different from someone else's. So sometimes you can be going through some ice tunnels, some caves, walking on top of the glacier, seeing amazing waterfalls all around. So yeah, really awesome experience.
Alright, so next on our list we have something that you can do both on the North Island and the South Island, and that's meeting the adorable kiwi birds. So you can do that in many different locations in New Zealand, so in the South Island, from Franz Josef to Queenstown. And if you want to, before Laura gives you a bit of an introduction, if you want the best ways to see a kiwi bird in the South Island of New Zealand, and technically not really the South Island, it is in Stewart Island, where you can do you can hike around the beautiful national park there, and you may be able to spot one in the wild. This is by far my favorite things to do in Stewart Island, and also on the South Island as well.
Yeah.
When it comes down to wildlife, it's not the glacier. The glacier is pretty cool, but all right, go.
Yeah, so seeing a kiwi is obviously on the top of many people's lists, but however they are really hard to spot in the wild as they are nocturnal and very elusive. They don't just come up and say hi to people. So one of the...
They say quack.
or more like a weird screeching sound. They do sound very weird. But you're more likely to see a kiwi in places like kiwi hatcheries, like the West Coast Wildlife Centre located in Franz Josef, as well as Kiwi Park in Queenstown that has just changed its name from Kiwi Birdlife Park to Kiwi Park.
Okay, next up on our list we have going above the New Zealand forest, and that is going through the West Coast treetop walk, and they actually just have opened a zip line. So before Laura's introduction, just a quick word that they are actually advertising on our website, so therefore they are obviously giving us money to be able to make a travel guide for you guys. So just make that what you will with it. However, we did feature them on the website well before they advertised with us. You can see videos of us 5 or 6 years ago actually going over there and enjoying what they're doing. But yeah, quick disclaimer.
Yeah, so the West Coast treetop walkway and zip line is it's a suspended walkway in the forest, which is a very unique and different way to basically see the forests of New Zealand. It's very accessible. It's wheelchair accessible, just a shout out for Adil there. And but yeah, their zip line tour is also something that they've just introduced. So if you want to have a little bit more of an adventure experience, then that is like a separate add-on that you can have for the experience.
425 meters, which is 1,394 feet for you Freedom Unit lovers. That's the length of the zip line. Okay, moving on to the next item on our list, and it's a bit more of a relaxing kind of thing to do, and that's sipping some amazing wine in New Zealand's greatest wine region. Is it New Zealand's greatest wine region?
Oh, it's the largest.
Largest, okay, let's go for largest. Wait, greatest in size.
Yes, greatest in size.
There you go, in the Marlborough region.
Yeah, so Marlborough is the largest wine region of New Zealand, located in the South Island, so it's very apt for this list. And it's famous particularly for, I'll give the pronunciation to Robin, it's Sauvignon.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. So so this is like the main wine that's produced in the area, and there are different ways that you can go and experience the wineries of this area. You can jump on driven tours to the different wineries where you do tastings and you don't have to worry about the driving because someone else is doing that for you. Or you can hop on a bike tour. There's different guided and self-guided options where you can cycle between the different cellar doors and do tastings that way. So lots of different fun and adventure to be had while sipping some wine along the way.
Okay, let's wrap up the first 5 with something epic, adrenaline-filled, and that's skydiving over beautiful Tasman Sea and the Franz Josef Glacier.
Ooh, because we couldn't pick one, that was better.
No.
So skydiving is obviously one of the big adventure activities that you can do in New Zealand and on the South Island. And there's 2 very different experiences you can have. There's the Franz Josef skydive, which is where you get some really cool views of the Franz Josef Glacier, Mount Cook, all those huge mountains, all the way through the braided rivers to the Tasman Sea. On the other hand, you can also go to Abel Tasman and do some skydiving over the top of some golden sand beaches. So there's really some various terrain that you can skydive over.
All right, that wraps up our first 5. Let's move on. Okay, so we have Michael Stewart that says best things to do in Stewart Island. I think spotting kiwi birds during the hikes over there is really cool, especially in Ulva Island, which is Laura's favorite thing to do in the country, isn't it?
My absolute favorite thing to do, and I fully recommend, is to take a very short boat ride over to Ulva Island. You can access it from a place that's called Golden Bay, which is within walking distance of Oban, the main town of Stewart Island. So you're walking over the hill to this little boat dock, and they do very affordable ferry tours over to Ulva Island. And oh my god, the bird life there is amazing. Don't get me started. We do have a video on this channel of us visiting Ulva Island, which, probably speaks more to what the experience is like than me just blabbering on about how amazing it is.
It is really cool. It's very, very, very cool. Sherry says it's 11 degrees right now. They had days of 20 degrees Celsius lately. Well,
delightful.
It is freezing here.
Yes, we're definitely feeling the very
bite
cold,
of the winter cold.
Coldness of winter in New Zealand at the moment.
Clay says that it's been pretty cold for him in Dunedin. It had the coldest blast on Thursday, keeping local panel beaters busy. Oh no! Crisp blue sky this morning. Yeah, it's today it's a bit covered here on North Island, but we got some nice rainbows.
Yeah, cool. Very nice.
Michael Stewart says you can also see kiwis at Kiwi North in my hometown of Whangarei. We actually did talk about Kiwi North last week when we did our 50 best things to do on the North Island, so you may want to go to last week's live show and check it out, mate. You'll see us talking about your hometown more than once. He says also, hell no, I'd rather knock myself out than go on a gosh down zipline. It's fun. Zipline is good, all easy fun.
Yeah, it's not as scary as some people might think. It's more of a soft adventure activity.
Yeah. It's the best adrenaline-filled adventure that you can sell to cruise line passengers.
Very apt description.
Yep. Sherry says, I'm really tempted to do the zip line. Do you think that part needs to be pre-booked? Nah, absolutely not. I really don't think you need to pre-book it. You can just rock in.
Yeah.
Especially at the time of the year you're going to be traveling, which is going to be fine. It's just the beginning of summer. It's not going to be full on. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Clay says, my uncle ran the southern part of the Te Araroa Trail and has a video of a kiwi running beside him, then shooting off to the side. That was pretty cool. Oh my god, can you send us that video? I really want to see it.
Yeah.
He says he ran it for charity, not for fun. Yeah, who runs for fun? I
know. There's got to be a reason for that madness. Especially if you're doing the South Island part of the Te Araroa Trail. That's a pretty long way.
That is. I hope he raised a lot of money for that, because I can tell you this is quite the undertaking.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, what is the Te Araroa Trail? Just in case, give some context.
Yeah, so the Te Araroa Trail is a trail that goes all the way from Cape Reinga in the northern part of the North Island all the way to Bluff in the South Island. There's two lighthouses at either end, so that's pretty cool, like start and end. But yeah, it's the trail that goes all the way through the country. It's what they call a through trail. So yeah, it's a multi-day adventure, the longest trail you can do in New Zealand, and yeah. It's
How many days does it take to do it?
I think it's about like 160 days or something. Like
that's a bit beyond what most people have as a time to travel around New Zealand.
It's obviously also, despite hiking, it's also actually quite an expensive endeavor. You do have to pay for accommodations along the way. Usually, a lot of people are sort of posting their food packages onwards or supply packages onwards and stuff. So there's a lot of organization that goes behind it. Yeah. So, but you know, it's really, there's lots of fun videos to watch about it on YouTube to learn more about it. So that's how I've kind of felt like I've experienced it from afar, just by watching it on YouTube.
And to be fair, while you travel around New Zealand, and if you're into hiking and you do some hikes, you will actually do some part of the Te Araroa Trail,
yes.
like throughout your travels anyway. So you'll do some small sections of it, and in my opinion, some of the best sections are actually just day walks. So, yeah. All right, so Michael says skydiving ain't gonna risk my life. Nah, it's not that dangerous. It's a lot of fun though. And Sherry says, do you think the weather is going to change much in 8 weeks?
I think you will experience a range of weathers.
No, but in 8 weeks when she's coming, in 8 weeks, is it going to change for her trip? I'm giving you context of what she's asking.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like right now it's pretty cold, but in 8 weeks' time, it's you're getting into spring and the weather usually warms up a lot more, especially during like November time.
It's gonna get definitely warmer, Sherry. And I know you're coming from Australia. You're scared of the cold. Don't panic.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as warm as Aussie, obviously, but it is going to be better.
Yeah.
And Michael says, sorry, I talk a bit too much. No worries, mate. Just keep talking as much as you want. No stress. All right. So while you guys keeping up with some more comments, questions, or anything like that, we'll do another 5. Why not?
Why not?
All right. So let's continue with number 6 on our list. And we have something that I will apologize for mispronouncing. The nickname for it is the Pupu Springs, but the full name of it is the Te Wakoro Pupu Springs. And it's in Takaka in Golden Bay.
Yeah, so this is some beautiful crystal clear freshwater springs that has a really short walk around it. It's also known as the largest freshwater spring in the South Island, if not New Zealand.
And one of the shortest walk in the South Island.
And one of the shortest walks, yes. So yeah, you can find this, just like Robin says, just outside of the town of Takaka, which is located in the Golden Bay area of the South Island.
All right, so next up on our list, we are going to take you to the town of Kaikoura for something that you all were expected us to have on our list. Whale watching!
Yay! Yeah, so we're watching. You can do all year round from Kaikoura. You can do it in various different ways, actually. So there are boat tours, cruises, taking you out to see the whales, but you can also do scenic flights over the top of the whales to get a perspective where you can see the whole body of them. So yeah, there's different ways to experience the whales, and it's an absolute must-do in Kaikoura. Seeing these beautiful marine mammals is definitely a highlight.
Hey Daniel, how are you doing today? Next up on the list, we have, another cruise, another reason to go on the water, and that's Milford Sound.
Yeah, so Milford Sound is probably the attraction most of you have heard about on the South Island. It's a very accessible activity to get to in terms of, even though it is in a very remote place, there are bus tours that can get you there are flights that can get you there, and what's usually done once you arrive in Milford Sound is take a cruise among some magnificent fjord landscape where you have towering mountains dropping waterfalls into the ocean. It's like nowhere else except for Norway, and is pretty amazing.
Yes. Next up we have the smelliest activity to do in New Zealand, and that's heading to the seal colonies.
Yeah, so
it stings.
The best places to see seals in New Zealand tends to be around the coast of the South Island, and there are many different places that you can check out seals for free, just, hanging out on the coasts. There's the Cape Foulwind Walkway, which is located in Westport. There is the Point Keen Car Park, located in Kaikoura. And there's various other places that you can check out around the South Island where seals are located. And we do have all those items listed on nzpocketguide.com.
And next up, we are going to stick with the beautiful coastline of the South Island of New Zealand and get close and intimate with them on the kayaking tour in Abel Tasman.
Yeah, so obviously the coast is the main highlight of Abel Tasman with its beautiful golden beaches and its rugged forest. But one really popular way to explore it all is on a kayaking tour. You can do multi-day kayaking tours, staying in various huts along the way, or you can do shorter experiences, for instance, taking a water taxi out to some of the best beaches, doing a little bit of kayaking there, and then doing a hiking tour on the way back. So yeah, check out all your options for kayaking in Abel Tasman. And the great thing is you don't have to be an experienced paddler to do these activities. It's usually suitable for first-time paddlers.
And spoiler alert, we'll send you to the coastlines of the south of New Zealand really often, because there is 5,800 kilometers worth of coastline in just the South Island. So that's about 3,630 miles for you Freedom Unit users. So yeah, there is a lot to do on the coastline of New Zealand. And somebody is watching the replay of this video, and their name is Daniel, and they're like, how the hell did they know that? I just freaked out someone, so I apologize for that. All right, let's move on. Okay, so what do we have? We have a Sherry that says, I wish I could go whale watching, but last time I went on a cruise and I felt really seasick.
Oh,
well, at that point you can do the wings over whales in Kaikoura, which is a really cool, very fun option. You can see us doing that. Other than that, honestly, the boats are quite big, so they're quite decent.
Yeah, they are, but we were literally sat next to somebody who was being sick.
Really? How can I not remember that?
So I remember that. So it's if you do suffer from seasickness quite bad, then there is a chance that that will happen to you again in Kaikoura. You can do, obviously, the seasickness remedies, but otherwise a really good option, like I was saying before, is the scenic flights. And what's great about them, especially with Wings Over Wales, they are actually cheaper than the cruises. So, it's not
There you go.
It's like you're getting a really cool experience as well, but you're also actually, saving a bit of money along the way.
Here you go. Michael Stewart is very excited about whale watching, which is really cool. Clay is going to send me that video, which is really nice. And he's also saying that in the sounds right now, it's amazing, white and beautiful, like Game of Thrones looking. That sounds really
painting
fun.
Quite the picture there.
I know. I'm just kind of like, you're transporting me mentally all the way to the snowy Milford Sound. I love it, Clay.
Amazing.
That's awesome. What do we have? We have Daniel that says, how can I get a New Zealand visa? You can head to immigration.govt.nz. There's a link on the description of this video. Head to their website, check out what options you have, and you'll be able to figure out your path to coming to take an epic holiday to New Zealand. Not that many people that come to New Zealand on the just for a holiday do not need a visa. Yeah, we get plenty of videos on the matter, actually. Michael, what Michael says?
Michael says, once I was in Kaikoura and a seal kept coming towards me. It followed me and my dad for 10 minutes.
How slow are you walking? Because outrunning a seal for 10 minutes is very easy.
Yeah.
Or are you in the water? What's
that's
give us some context.
That's quite
right
funny that they were following you.
Yeah. Whereas we are, Sherry says, "Oh, whoa! I've never looked into the scenic whale watching because I thought it would be crazy expensive. No, check it out.
It's surprising. It is surprising.
I know, it's really cool. The couple that runs Wales, Wings Over Wales, is a very nice couple. We like them a lot." And Daniel says, "I'm from Nigeria. Hey, hello from Nigeria. I'm pretty sure you have much better weather than we currently having in New Zealand. So good on you, my friend."
Good on you.
All right, everybody, continue asking us your questions or giving us some epic comments, and we'll continue pottering along our lovely little list of the best things to do on the South Islands. All right, so next up on our list, then, number 11, is taking one of the most scenic train journey in the whole wide world.
Wow.
And that is the Transalpine train that runs from Christchurch to Greymouth.
Yeah, so another way to experience the beautiful New Zealand scenery, including its mountains and braided rivers, all the way to the rainforest of the west coast, is on the Transalpine train. Like Robin says, it goes between Christchurch and Greymouth. And if you're doing you can do a half a day experience. You can even stop off in Arthur's Pass halfway through and take the train back to Christchurch when it returns, or you can do like the full day experience going all the way to Greymouth and then all the way back to Christchurch. If you want to see us doing that experience, we do have a video on the channel.
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, yeah, I forgot about that actually, yeah. So yeah, and also on the train, it's obviously set up for taking in all the scenery with its large windows, some windows sort of semi on the ceiling. There's also viewing carriages as well. So yeah, it's a scenic train journey like no other.
Speaking of scenic journey, how about scenic views for an epic journey? And I'm talking about epic racing in the luge in Queenstown.
Yeah, so this is downhill go-karting essentially. The way that you sort of power these go-karts is you're basically just sort of releasing the brakes as you go down and you're gathering speed, and it's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of fun watching people. I'm just remembering there was a lady that was going so slow. It was so beautiful to watch.
She was not cut for she's not cut for racing, I think.
Yeah, so there's two different tracks for the Queenstown Luge. You access it at the top of the Skyline gondola. While you're also up there, they do have restaurants, bungee jumping, other activities that you can do up there as well. So, you can spend the whole day going nuts at the top of the Queenstown gondola.
In fact, as Clay is mentioning right now in the live chat, you can also do it at night from time to time, which is really fun.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so next up on the list, and definitely when we did this activity, the result looked exactly like what you're going to see on screen. It's carving your own greenstone pendant in Hokitika. Definitely looked like that, right? That was exactly what I carved, right?
Right, and that's why they call the people that usually carve pendants master carvers.
Yeah,
but
we were definitely
not to that level. But yeah, in Hokitika, if you do have a full day to spare, because this is usually how long it takes to carve greenstone, it usually is like a full day activity, then Hokitika is sort of known as the jade capital of New Zealand, which is another word for greenstone. You can join hands-on workshops where you get to carve and design your own greenstone pendants. It's obviously makes for a very unique souvenir. That greenstone is actually a very sort of sacred thing to the local Maori people. So if you want to take something that is, if you want to have a souvenir that sort of represents sort of the Maori culture as well, then that's a really unique souvenir to take back.
And you have different options. You can also do bone carving as well as power carving, which are slightly shorter because it's less hard of a material.
Yeah.
Next up on our list, we have my absolute favorite thing to do when it comes down to wildlife, and it's spending some time in the beautiful Otago Peninsula. Penguins, sea lion, albatrosses, and more awaits.
Yes, so this is accessible from the city of Dunedin, the Otago Peninsula. There's different activities that you can be doing to experience the wildlife. It's home to the Royal Albatross Centre, so you can make your own way to this centre and go on an albatross tour where you get to sort of see albatross nesting sites from unobtrusive viewing hides, which is a really special experience. You can also see little blue penguins coming back at twilight back to their nests, which is also really amazing. There's really cool sort of tours that take you around the Otago Peninsula to various conservation areas, such as elm wildlife tours and back to nature tours. So yeah, this is ways to see New Zealand wildlife while they are, not in captivity. They are in the wild. Is a really special experience. So definitely a highlight of the South Island.
Hey Fabio, how are you doing? All right, so number 15 on our list, man, we are churning through that really fast. I love it. We have a hidden gem on the South Island of New Zealand. That's the beautiful, amazingly giant caves of the Opara Basin, which is near the town of Karamea.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of the most sort of underrated natural attractions of the South Island, but that's mainly because it's a little bit of a, it's a bit of a side trip to get to. It is located at the very top of the west coast of the South Island, like Robin says, near the town of Karamea. And the Oparara Arches is one of the largest limestone arches in all of Australasia. There's also various caves that you can see on very short walks. You're also in the beautiful forest of the Kahurangi National Park. So this whole area is absolutely beautiful, pristine. There's lots of bird life there as well. So yeah, if you have an extra day to spare on your South Island itinerary, then heading to the Oparara Basin is an absolute must.
Here you go, 15. Let's keep going. Okay, so, wow, that's a lot of comments. Fabio sadly is back in Austria right now. Yeah, he did document a little bit his journey through Taiwan to make his way back to Austria. So, yeah, that was quite the journey that you took there, mate. Okay, so let's scroll back up. So we have Daniel that says he loves New Zealand. Awesome, New Zealand loves you back, my friend. Michael says we were on the sand area. It wasn't coming fast, but it was slowly coming toward us. Okay, so the seal was like slowly making way. I heard seals have done that to some people. Usually it's because they want food or whatever. Yeah, and also they're relatively territorial seals, so they don't necessarily enjoy too much people kind of settling a little too close,
land.
No, but like if you put your towel or something too close, they don't usually enjoy that too much. So they would be kind of having some sort of animal behaviors. Daniel says, send me the link how to apply for New Zealand for visa Nigeria now. So again, the link is in the description of the video. It's already there in the description of the video. So just click on see more, and there is the link right here. Just read the text. Okay, what do we have? Sherry asks, how easy is it to crash the luge? She's paranoid.
I
don't think it's that easy.
No, I mean, I haven't ever seen anyone crashing. I think obviously some people.
I mean, you can hit the sides, right? Like the side, you have like side rails, right? So you obviously everybody hits the side rails, right? Obviously, especially
some
when
people,
you're about to pass Laura.
Yeah, it depends.
She hits the rail.
It depends if you're with some competitive people and they come and want to crash on you on purpose,
but like full crash getting out of the track and kind of flipping the cart and everything. I personally have never seen that, neither in Queenstown nor Rotorua, and we've done it multiple times. So yeah.
The good thing is that you tend to be pretty in control of the luge. So I mean, it's usually like you don't lose control and crash.
Also, it's really low to the ground, so it doesn't really have a high clearance to actually take some air or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm sure somebody is gonna come in and say that they crashed the luge. It's obviously doable. Sherry also says, I'm carving a power shell at Boats and Stone.
Cool.
That's fun. That's cool. Clay's asking, did they bless the greenstone when you finish carving it? That wasn't our experience, was it?
No, it wasn't. I mean, different people might do different things, but when we did the experience at Bones and Stones in Hokitika, and there wasn't any blessing that was part of the experience.
And as predicted, Fabio says, I crashed the luge in Queenstown, but
Okay.
I did a lot of stupid things. Okay. So when you say crash, right? Did you say you just hit the side? Because obviously you always hit the side. I hit the side all the time.
I don't hit the side. I was very in control, and if you don't want to hit the side, you don't have to hit the side.
I made Laura hit the side. She's lying.
There is actually, when you come towards the end of the luge, they narrow the trail so that people are forced to slow down as they come towards the end. At that case, you hit it a little bit.
But not Laura.
Well, it's not
Laura.
But it's not a crash. It's not a crash. It's part of the the slowing down mechanism. Anyway.
Clay enjoyed my little shout out to Dunedin. Fabio, our producer, is back at work, after taking a holiday a little bit, saying...
where are we? Sorry. Don't forget to like, guys.
Sherry wants to know how if he was still in New Zealand, so we already sorted all that. Adil says, any of the places you have mentioned so far wheelchair accessible, and also would people who only have upper body strength be able to do the physical sports activities mentioned? So Laura actually did mention the one part so far that was wheelchair accessible, so that was the West Coast Treetop. And also when it comes down to go see a kiwi bird, for example, depending on which place you're going. So for example, if you go to like a conservation kind of center, then at that point that should be okay.
Yeah.
Good question, Adil. Fabio says, I have to say to you guys, I'm quite happy to see my dog, but the time in New Zealand flew away like a newspaper in the wind. Oh, that is
Beautiful similes.
what a metaphor that just also transports me. I love it. Rick is welcoming Fabio back. Okay, fun fact by Clay.
Fun fact, the have a live stream of a chick albatross. So yeah, at the Royal Albatross Centre, they have a live stream of a chick albatross, and we get to vote the name and when it takes its first flight and heads to sea. The bells in the octagon chime, and it's a big deal. That's cool.
Awesome. So what's the current leading name for that for this year's chick albatross? Is it going to be
Something silly.
something silly?
Yes.
And Fabio also agreed the Royal Albatross station is quite cool. The live stream is for the people with a lot of time. You put it in the background, you check from time to time. A lot of people currently are watching bears fishing for salmons in Canada as well. There's a lot of those live stream online.
Yeah.
Michael says, well, I'm going to go for a bit. I'm going to Kmart. My mum is addicted to Kmart.
Yeah, I heard that can happen.
Yeah. Okay. Fabio says, the car crashed to the side when I did not use the brake at all, and I got stuck, and then tried to flip it.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay,
Well,
maybe use the...
Well, Sherry, you won't. I don't think you'll have much problem unless you decide not to use the brakes whatsoever. Then, yeah,
I mean, there is one thing to use in this luge, Fabio, is like the brake. Nothing else, right? It's like release the brake and not use the brake. If the one thing you're given to use, you decide not to use it, obviously, you can crash. Yes. But I'm proud of you, Fabio. I'm proud of you.
Clay says my mate went full send down the luge and was told to slow down. He hit the squiggle part to slow down and went airborne. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, as mentioned, you guys always can act crazy. I am a boringly predictable and responsible person. So, yes.
We have not gone airborne on the luge. However, at the luge in Rotorua, I have heard people sort of boasting because there is like a bit of a dip. And a lot of people sort of like to boast that, oh yeah, definitely got some air on the dip, like basically like it's a ramp. So yeah, I mean, whether those stories are true or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you whether you want to crash on the luge. Let's just revert our description. It is up to you whether you decide to crash or not on the luge.
Yeah, it's always user error, not anything else. It's user error.
Yeah.
Okay, I can just picture somebody of the size of Clay as well, because he's a full-grown man, like a child going airborne, like a full-grown man going airborne on the luge must be absolute chaos. That is funny. All right, so the name of the... Fabio says you can see a kiwi in the wildlife encounter in Franz Joseph, and it is wheelchair accessible for you, Adil.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Thank you, Fabio. Clay say the name of the... albatross chick. Sorry, the latest one was Manaki, and he doesn't know what's the name for the next one. Sherry promises to use the brake on the luge, which
makes
good.
Sense. Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to test how efficient the helmets are. It's kind of like it's something you never want to test.
They do look a bit, they do. Those helmets have been on a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
I don't know how great they are, so you probably don't want to crash.
Yeah. You don't want to destroy the home of all those slices living in there. Come on.
Gross. But true.
No, they do clean them. Okay, Fabio says there is a dip in Queenstown too, and you can have a short flight there, but it is safe.
Short flight.
Those things are like, they cannot be more to the ground.
I know. I feel like I've never got to any point where I thought I was going to get air.
I know. I don't even understand the physics of going airborne with the luge, right? Like again, you cannot be lower to the ground. Look at that, guys. How do you get air out of that? That is crazy.
They're so plastered to the ground.
I know.
And they're so heavy as well.
It almost looks like a suction cup to the road, to the tarmac, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, guys.
You lot are nuts.
Yeah, no, Jesus.
But yeah. I'm sure there's some crazy videos on YouTube somewhere where we can see some people catching some air on the luge.
I have no question in my mind that this exists. All right, where were we at? Clay says it was his first and very much last time on the luge. Yeah, you bet.
Fair enough. Fabio says they do clean them, sure.
Well, they told us they do. Yeah, you know what? That's true. They told us they do. I don't know how and when and how often. That is very true. when you bump into some hard stuff, there may be a chance someone might say, "Yep, yeah, I mean, you can fly. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah. You guys are nuts. I like it. All right, cool. So while you guys continue scaring us with your luge skills, we'll do another 5. What about that?
What about that?
All right, let's continue. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 right here. And that is happening in Queenstown. You can go bungee jump in beautiful sunset right now. I think the photo is. Yep.
Yeah. So in Queenstown is kind of like it's known as the adrenaline capital of New Zealand. And if you were looking for a place to do that crazy New Zealand invention, which is the bungee jump, then Queenstown would be a good place to do it. They have the highest bungee jump in New Zealand, which is the Nevis bungee. They also have the unique bungee jump, which is the ledge bungee, where they to have the strap around your waist rather than your legs. Therefore, you can do some freestyling flips or jumps or however you want to do the ledge bungee. During summer, they also do night bungee as well. If you feel so inclined. And then they have the original bungee jump, which is the Kawarau Bridge bungee there too.
All right, Laura has been begging and waiting to talk about the next one. It is located just off the shore of Stewart Island and is beautiful Ulva Island, an amazing conservation area.
Yes, so this is, although you do have to take a ferry to get to Stewart Island, while you're in Stewart Island, you might as well take a 5-minute boat trip.
No, it's not even 5 minutes.
Let's say 5 minutes, just in case, they stop to see a penguin or something. So, yeah.
It's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes at most.
So, you can take a trip over to Ulva Island, which has various different short walks and the bird life there, because it is a protected sanctuary. It is free of pests and invasive species. Therefore, the bird life here is absolutely out of this world. It feels like you are stepping back in time to maybe how New Zealand might have been before human migration. So it is a very bizarre, different, otherworldly experience, but definitely one that we recommend it for anyone that is going to Stewart Island.
All right, so next up, I've heard that the South Island can get quite cold at times, so a good way to warm up is to head to some of the amazing hot springs, like Hanmer Springs hot pools.
Yes, so Hanmer Springs is the largest thermal pools complex in New Zealand. So you have various different hot pools to relax in various different settings, but they also have a bit of a water park there. You can do water slides and all that fun stuff if you're, if you're with kids or you're a bit of a kid yourself. We've definitely had a lot of fun at the water park there too.
I didn't do a lot of soak and relax, I'll be honest with everybody right here.
But yeah, there are various pools of different temperatures that you can relax and soak in, and it tends to be the thing to do when you go to Hanmer Springs.
All right, next up on our list, when you finish soaking, let's get those feet sweaty and hurting with some backpacking, tramping, multi-day hiking. In short, go tackle a great walk.
Yeah, so in New Zealand there are these walks that are sort of titled the New Zealand Great Walks. There are 10 of them currently. There's always more being added to the list. But they are multi-day hiking trails taking you to pretty well sort of constructed huts, quite nice huts, well-maintained trails with good facilities. However, it's still a place where you do need to take your own sleeping bag, take your own food, that sort of thing. But yeah, these multi-day hiking trails are sort of like the sort of original way to experience the beautiful scenery of the South Island. And some of the great walks for the South Island include the Kepler Track, the Abel Tasman Coast Track, the Milford Track. Most of the great walks are on the South Island.
All right, and 20 on our list, we have a simple one, making tracks of your own in the powdery snows of the Southern Alps, experiencing the ski season.
Yes. So, during the winter season, which is currently at the time of recording, it's August right now, but yeah, usually between July to the end of September is the ski season in New Zealand and in the South Island. Popular places to go to are around the Queenstown area and Wanaka area. There's also various ski fields in the Canterbury region, about a 2-hour drive from Christchurch. So yeah, there's lots of different ski fields that you can try out on the South Island. We do have them all listed on nzpocketguide.com.
Boom, that's 20. Let's continue. Now.
Anytime now.
It
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so what do we have over there? Boom, boom, boom. Where we at?
Maybe around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fabio is calling the luge in Queenstown the aviation center of Queenstown. I like it. I like it a lot. Fabio says you can take the totally nice ferry to Auburn. On a good day, it is cool, but do not go when there is a slight chance of wind.
Yes, it can be a bit of a bumpy ride.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a bumpy ride. Daniel says hi. Another Daniel coming and say hi. I love it. How are you doing, Daniel? Clay says, what are the hot pools like in Tekapo? I've been there so many times but never got to the pools. Well, we have a full video of us in there, so you can check that out if you want. But basically, it's a multi-tier kind of hot pools with some like larger kind of pools, so you can have quite a bunch of people in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, the view is nice. You can see the lake and everything. I mean, it's a hot pool. You sit in there and you marinate yourself for a little bit, and then Robin gets bored. I have ADHD, mate. I get kind of antsy after about how long do you actually think I just sit down in the hot pools usually when we go?
3 minutes.
Yeah, Jamie is kind of like, okay, I'm done, guys. It's just not my thing, right? I don't tend to relax. I don't do that.
But if you enjoy hot pool experiences, then by all means you'll probably love the Lake Tekapo hot pools. Like Robin says, great views, different various water temperatures in each of the pools. They have little waterfalls, so you can like sort of put your back in them and massage your back. There's also a kids play splash area as well, so if you're with family, then you can just
where you will find Robin.
or if you're with family or people that can't sit still for 5 minutes, then there's the children's play area. And then usually at Lake Tekapo Springs, they also have this separate area which in the summer they'll have like some big water slides and that sort of thing. In winter they do like tobogganing, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's different activities that you can do there. Not all included in the Hot Pools Pass. You'll have to pay
Somebody's
extra.
going nuts on the emojis. I love it. So distracting.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll have to pay extra for doing the extra activities. But yeah, it's just basically a fun activity center, pretty much.
All right. That's our spiel kind of description of it. Honestly, the best way to do it is to watch the video of us there, so you actually can get the full.
Yeah, get a feel for it. Yeah.
All right, what do we have? The great walks are amazing. Yep. Fabio says. He also says, I tried to get a tub in Lake Tekapo during my stay a few weeks back, and it was impossible due to the bookings. Yeah, you got to book a little bit early for sure.
Yeah, Lake Tekapo, and it's the same for places like Milford Sound. They're very small villages, like very small towns. Any accommodation there or any activities that you want to do in these really tiny places, usually it is advised to book as far in advance as possible.
Clay is asking, is the photo of the ski field that we were showing was taken from the Remarkable? Do you think it's from the Remarkable? It does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it is definitely. So that's definitely from the Remarkable's ski field, indeed. Boom. Okay, Daniel says he's from Wellington. I live in Wellington. That's awesome. What is your favorite thing to do in Wellington, Daniel?
Yeah.
So today we're talking about the best thing to do on the southern of New Zealand. So you're the closest you can get without filling the requirements right here. So I love it. But yeah, just do tell us. That'd be great. Last week we talked about the best thing to do on the North Island. So we did talk quite extensively of Wellington. Because we do really like the town of Wellington. We were there not that long ago. I love Welly.
Speaking of Wellington, somewhere not in Wellington, Rafa Cat is from Leeds, and he's here saying, good morning, guys, all the way from very warm Leeds. We are very jealous of your weather at the moment here in New Zealand. It is very chilly. We would like summer to approach us now.
Sherry says, my mum grew up near Wellington, but the Australian version.
Oh.
Is there a Wellington, Australia? There is a Wellington in so many places.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of...
There is many wellies, but
many
no
wellies.
other capital of New Zealand.
Anthony says...
Oh yeah, Claire was talking about how yuck if you think about the hot pools, it's like having a bath in public. Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, I don't want to bath with all the other strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
No, honestly, I don't mind. You know that. You know, like water is water. It's fine. I'm not too fussed about it. I'm just getting bored in hot pools. Also, it's too hot for me.
You
So
start
yeah.
to sweat. Then when you sit outside the hot pools, in you get too cold. Then you
Yeah.
get back in, and then you're too hot. It's like
I know my tiny nipples get cold, while my bottom is getting like super warm. It's like just not acceptable temperature. I can't just be comfortable with that section of my body. You know, it's like the one which is correct temperature right here. It's too cold here. It's not my thing.
oh, tough life.
Yeah, I know, very hard life.
Yeah, so
Very-
Anthony was saying, stay safe, but I'm here till the end. Thank
Oh,
you
it's
for
kicking us out 10 minutes early. I love it.
thanks for inserting your signature phrase
Yeah.
in there, Anthony.
Sherry is signifying that it's a Wellington in Australia is a very rural town. And Fabio, what is Fabio saying?
Fabio says, but if you have to be honest, Auckland and Northlands are quite warm at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, they
It
are
always
warm.
feels
They
so
are
warm.
unseasonably warm.
Yeah,
indeed.
every time we go up to Auckland after being where we are in the central North Island, it just always feels so much warmer. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's quite mild. Like, I don't even need to wear a coat out here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like Auckland is giving you a nice warm hug saying, I'm sorry I'm being Auckland. I'm sorry for being Auckland. And it just still welcomes you, you know.
Yeah.
Nice embrace of warmth. Okay, we are going to do 5 more. Why not? And then we'll read your comments again. Okay. And keep on clicking on all the buttons, by the way, like the subscribe, the likes, the stuff. It's always funny and it distracts us way too much. And so it makes us lose our train of thought, which I really enjoy. So yeah, here you go. Moving on. Next up on our list. Next up on the list, we have another one to do in beautiful Kaikoura, and that's swimming with the amazing dolphins. But you can also do it in Marlborough if you want to.
Yes. Yeah, so swimming with dolphins is another really awesome wildlife activity, and you'll be surprised at how curious these creatures are. You'll be swimming in the water, and they'll come and check you out and be like, what the hell are they doing? And then swim away. So yeah, dolphin swimming is really fun. Like Robin says, you can do it in Kaikoura. It's kind of the place that most people know for doing dolphin swimming, but there's also a really cool tour that you can do with eco tours in Marlborough, specifically from Picton. So yeah, check those out.
And as mentioned, when you guys started clicking the button, I lost my train of thought and I made them all laugh. All right, let's continue. Next up, we have doing whitewater rafting, one of my favorites adrenaline activity. And there is many places to do it on the south end of New Zealand, but let's focus on Queenstown.
Yeah, so whitewater rafting is, again, speaking of Queenstown and the adrenaline capital of New Zealand, this is certainly a really cool place to do whitewater rafting. It's not available during the winter months, but you can do it for most of the year, and there's 2 different rivers that you can go on. You could go on the nice, friendly, family-friendly version, or you can do the epic grade 4/grade 5 rapids. Going through some old mining tunnels as well is a really cool
It's
experience.
quite cool to whitewater raft through tunnel. This is a very fun feature. Although it's really
Yes.
not that long, and you know, it's just
It's
just
cool
really cool.
nonetheless.
It's really cool. Yeah. All right, moving on to something really cool, crystal blue, milky blue waters of the Hokitika Gorge.
Yeah, so
Transition man right here.
yeah, so again, New Zealand and the South Island is always providing with amazing scenery to see, and the blue pools of Hokitika Gorge is another great example. So there's a short walk down to this beautiful gorge where there's a swing bridge that has sort of become more of an icon in itself than the gorge. Are you taking the piss out of my beautiful hand gestures, Robin? Yeah, so this is a really cool 1 hour loop walk that you can do in the area. Otherwise, you can just do a shorter version of the walk just down to the swing bridge and back up. You may want to relax by the water of the gorge. However, the sandflies will probably have a thing or two to say about that and chase you away before you get comfortable.
Number 24 will shock you. That's right. Glowworms are also available on the south island of New Zealand. Oh my gosh, shocked.
Yes.
Te Anau in the nearby Queenstown.
Yes, so not just in Waitomo, there are glowworms actually all over New Zealand, and a really cool other glowworm cave tour that you can do on the South Island is the Te Anau glowworm caves. So accessing these caves is by boat across Lake Te Anau, and once you get there you do a bit of a cave tour. You get to also learn a little bit more about the glowworms, ask questions, and yeah.
Hey, how are you doing, Glowworm?
I'm not asking questions to the glowworms. They have a very short lifespan, so I mean, they don't have time for questions, guys. You'll learn all about that on the tour. But yeah, so yeah, you do a guided walking tour. You get to also see underground waterfalls. Do a little bit of a boat tour. You're floating underneath the glowworms, quite similar to how they do in Waitomo. So yeah, this is a really good option to see glowworms, especially if you don't get the chance to see them on the North Island.
Okay, the next one is just because I really, really do enjoy that photo of us. Macklin Falls in the Catlins.
Yeah, so of course New Zealand has many, many, many waterfalls. By the end of your trip, you'll be like, I cannot see another waterfall. I just cannot.
What? You can always see another waterfall.
You can always see another waterfall. And personally, one of our favourite waterfalls to visit is McLean Falls in the Catlins. So this is a very easy short walk to access, and then once you get there you can, you know, climb a couple of tiers of waterfalls to get to sort of the main long drop waterfall at the top. But even from the bottom, it is an amazing waterfall to just behold.
All right, so that makes 25 amazing things to do on the South Island of New Zealand. There is 25 more in the link in the description below on nzpocketguide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. And yeah, if you want to say thank you for all our hard work, hit like, subscribe, join us on Patreon so we can help you plan your trip in New Zealand, etc. And yeah, let's just go back to our live chat and let's help more people plan their trip to New Zealand. All right, so something that I've noticed is that as we were having fun and we were joking around, as we were enjoying ourselves doing that, we lost a third of our viewers. So we had 15. 5 of them were like, nah, they're having fun, they're enjoying ourselves. So Laura, remember to always be serious and not have fun. If you have fun with the subject matter, you're losing viewership on YouTube. That's how it works.
Thanks for the tip,
Yeah,
Robin.
I know. It's a very important tip right here. All right, what has happened? Oh no, nothing. Not
Nothing
even no
has
comments.
happened.
Well, here you go.
What of the experience that we've talked about any more that would be wheelchair accessible, so we can address Adil's future question.
Not much.
Yeah, that one's actually a bit tougher. Hot pools.
Yeah, the hot pools.
As long as you can make your way in and out of the hot pools yourself. Greenstone carving. The albatross viewing actually at the Royal Albatross Centre is wheelchair accessible. However, you will need someone to push you because there's a lot of there's especially an uphill at the start of the tour.
Greenstone carving, the Transalpine train will be okay as well. Some seal colonies will be accessible. The cruise in Milford Sound will be that. The cruise in whale watching will be cool.
Te Waikurapupu Springs would be as long as you've got someone with you.
And then the kiwi bird that we were mentioning. So yeah, a bit harder with this one, but yeah. All right, and Sherry says, how dare you have fun? Yeah, how dare we have fun?
How dare you?
Okay, so what's happening next? We are going to be looking at over 70 photos from the beautiful Kiwi Lauren for a trip to New Zealand. So that's going to be heaps of fun. It's a Patreon exclusive, so we'll do that on YouTube very soon. Literally in about 5 minutes. And yeah, this week some more videos, and next week we're seeing you with another theme that I can't remember what it is. So
what
Laura,
a great intro.
Yeah, Laura, tell people goodbye or something while I figure out what we're doing next week. Oh my god.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us this week, guys.
Yeah, like, subscribe, all that thing. Well, I definitely know what I'm doing.
Check out some of our other videos on our channel. A few years back we did an epic challenge where we did 365 days of 365 activities in New Zealand. Oh, yeah. So if you want to know what it's like to do a certain activity in New Zealand, chances are we've done it and we have a video for it. So yeah, have a browse through the channel. We have lots of crazy stuff going on there.
Weather in September, that's what we're talking about next week. I forgot about it because, yeah, it's going to be already the 20th of August. So, yeah, we're talking about the weather in September.
I can't wait for September.
She says, when is the bird theme? Well, the bird theme is probably going to be in quite a few weeks because I kind of schedule things relatively ahead in advance, right? And, yeah, we had to skip it because of some unfortunate circumstances. And so, yeah, it's going to be in quite a while because I need to clear everything I scheduled first. So yeah, if that's okay, but I still think it's before your trip, Sherry. So still before your trip.
Yeah, it'll be fresh in your mind for your trip.
Yeah, I'll look at dates and I'll tell you that during the Patreon show. All right, everybody, you have a lovely week. You have a lovely Sunday, and yeah, stay awesome. Bye bye.
See you next week. Bye.